Hello, everybody. How you doing? Hello, Friendo. Hello, Pig's Dream. Hello, Bianca. This live stream was very heavily intensified by Bianca. I'll show it in a second. Hello, UK Night Rider. Are you not at NARM? The real thing, hello. Are you not at NARM? Veghead, I apologize. I'm sorry. Yes, I do and did use AI gen. I understand some people don't like it. I don't necessarily like it anymore. But a lot of it was animated by me as well. So it wasn't just like a AI dump. I understand that's not the problem that usually people have with AI gen. So last week, let's get straight into it. Last week, this happened. Bianca says, we even had a 4 pages long article. If you love animals, you need to eat them in Germany 2 years ago. Yeah, what the fuck indeed. Jesus. Can you imagine what's in that article, Jake?
I want to read it. Tell me where it is. I need to.
Well, here we are. We're gonna read it. So, not exactly though, right? So Bianca did the incredible amount of effort to actually find the paper a little bit. I mean, it's behind the paywall, but you can find it here and there, just screenshotted or screenshot, the way I say it. So this is a screenshot of the article, and but she ended up finding the source of the article. Apparently, this is not the real thing. This was just copied and translated into German. The real thing was in English, and oh boy, is it absolute brain rot. We're gonna go through as much as possible before we're gonna have to go to Vegan Power Lab's debate. Hello, Vegan Power Lab. I'm upset with you a little bit because last week I made my stream earlier and I directed people into your stream. But apparently it didn't happen last week. It's supposed to happen today, isn't it? And yesterday I just forgot that it's happening. So I scheduled my stream as usual, but we're gonna try make it. Yeah, sure, no problem. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Chip. But Let me know, is it still happening at 5 or 6 European time? If it is, finger update. I was downsizing, like, I didn't want people to worry too much. It is a very, it is an injury. It's a bad injury, actually. And I'm battling my healthcare system to get actual treatment. I'm not battling successfully, though. So I will get a permanent thingy on my finger in about a week and a half. And then for 8 weeks, I'm gonna be wearing that shit for 24/7. It just fucking sucks. Sucks. And then I'm gonna be in rehab for it. Rehabilitating it. Physiotherapy and shit like that. So. No, I did not break a bone. I wish I broke a bone because then I could get actual treatment as soon as possible. I tore the ligament out. Or is it not a ligament? What is it called? Something was torn out of its place. My finger dropped like that. It's called a mallet finger. Yeah, it's actually a pretty serious fucking injury. But my healthcare provider doesn't see it as such because it's not a broken bone. Yeah, tendon. Thank you, Big Stream. I appreciate you. Did I sue Kappa? No, I don't sue. I'm not gonna sue Kappa. It's not their fault. It's my genetics. Thanks. Oh, I guess people just get injured sometimes. So yeah. Let's begin this amazing brain rot. I'm sure we're gonna be smarter after this. So the person who wrote it, called Nick Zangwill. I wanted to do some research on him, but I didn't do it in the end. A professor of philosophy. And you're gonna hear the brain rot. And it's absolute fucking garbage. And this person is a professor of philosophy. He should fucking lose his fucking job. Is all I'm gonna say about that. All right, let's begin. Let me just in case there is something playing, so that we don't have weird sounds. The subheading is ridiculous. Why you should eat meat? Not eating animals is wrong, he makes the claim. If you care about animals, which vegans obviously don't, then the right thing to do is breed them, kill them, and eat them. Because killing is caring. Killing is love. Kill equals love. That's what we're talking about. Right. If you care about animals, this goes in Professor of Philosophy, it says we're dumb. Yeah. Well, you're not even gonna... I mean, it's really, from what I read, which is not much, it's really bad. It's really, really, really stupid reasoning. If you care about animals, you should eat them. If not, it is not that you may do so, but you should do so. In fact, you owe it to animals to eat them. It is your duty, says a professor of philosophy. Now I know why. It's trying to pander to deontologists and freshman deontologists, right? To the Kantian people. So, why? Because eating animals benefits them and has benefited them for a long time. Killing equals benefit. Forceful breeding equals benefit. Oh my God, I want to be benefited in that way. I think that's beneficiary to forcibly breed me and then kill me. That's absolutely the best thing for me, isn't it? Right. Why? Because eating animals will benefit for a long time. Right. Breeding and eating animals is a very long-standing cultural institution that animals absolutely care about. That is mutually beneficial relationship between human beings and animals. Again, killing is beneficial. If someone was to try to unalive Nick, that would be beneficial to him. And if someone was to try to breed and unalive humans, that would be beneficial to the humankind. That is the extrapolation of the view, right? We bring animals into existence. If you bring them into existence, you can do whatever the fuck you want with them. We care for them, of course. Killing is caring, right? Doing things, medical procedures without anesthesia is caring. Feeding them not what they're supposed to be fed, but the thing that will make the flesh and the secretions taste better, have better nutrients, is caring and incredibly beneficial to animals, to be completely disregarded in every decision of their lives, right? And the decisions made for what they then gonna become, the object they're gonna become one day. Rear them, whatever, and then kill and eat them. Killing is incredibly beneficial to animals. It's mutually beneficial for animals to be killed by us so that we could eat them, right? From this, we get food and other animal products, and they get life. Short, hard life that they, that they would better not having, basically. Right. Thanks. No, but no. They get a life. Both sides benefit. Being killed is incredibly beneficial to the sentient being, right? I should say that by animals here, we don't want to confuse animals with animals. I mean non-human animals, right? Because we don't accidentally want to confuse the human animals as an animal, right? It is true that we are also animals, but we are also more than that in a way that makes a difference. And what is that way, Nick? Is it because it's your species? Oh, gosh. Like, it doesn't even doesn't even need to spell it out. It's just, oh, we're different. In a way that makes a difference. Yeah. So, yeah, it's fine. It doesn't apply to humans. Don't worry about it, guys. You don't think about it too much. Don't try to extrapolate it logically to make sense. It is true that the practice does not benefit an animal at the moment we eat it. No, at the moment you eat it, it's already an object. It doesn't benefit the animal at the moment of actually being born into torture and then very early killing. Very early killing, right? He forgets to mention that they die incredibly, incredibly young, right? The benefit to the animal on our dinner table lies in the past. Nevertheless, even at that point, it has benefited by its destiny of being killed and eaten. What kind of a fucking philosophy professor talks about fucking destiny? That's what I want to know. We're gonna. I really wish I'm an asshole that I didn't look up who this person is. Oh God! If somebody knows, please tell me. Oh my God! The experience of that animal, an animal of its kind, depends on human beings killing and eating animals of that kind. So perpetuating that benefit of being born into torture, exploitation, and killing at a very young age, right, should be replicated over and over again for it to be beneficial to the individuals in... You see how it works? See how it works? Right. Domesticated animals exist in the numbers they do only because there is a practice of eating them. So having more individuals that we breed into tortures and short life, at the end of which it's cut short by being slaughtered, right? But having a lot of them benefits the individuals, right? That's what I'm thinking. For example, the many millions of sheep in New Zealand would not begin to survive in the wild. Why are we talking about the wild? Fuck knows. They exist only because human beings eat them. Yeah, at a fraction of the lifespan, you slaughter the animals. So slaughter is incredibly beneficial to a species. Right. For example, the many millions of sheep in New Zealand would not begin to survive in the wild only because humans. The meat eating practice benefits them greatly and has benefited them greatly by benefit we do mean slaughter. So we should eat them. Not eating them is wrong. And let's see. And let's these animals down. This is a professor, right? I feel like I'm reading a child's essay, essentially, right? Like a 4-H child trying to justify saying goodbye to the fucking cow, or something like that. Of course, the animals we eat should have good lives. Oh, but what if they don't? Do they still benefit? What if in the UK 85% of them are in factory farms? Is that okay? Is that okay? That's still beneficial, right? Because they have life, short, torturous life, all right? And so the worst kind of factory farming is not justified by this argument. And yet, you are telling everybody to eat animals, right? You're not telling, we should eat less animals so that we don't factory farm them anymore, right? At least, making this existential welfarist, excuse for it, right? To say, well, we need to reduce in the UK by 85% the amount of animals we slaughter and kill because we just don't have the capacity to take care of, to give them good lives, because 85% of them are in CAFOs, right? So, but if you care about animals, you should eat them or continue having the same consumptions or maybe even increase consumption, right? This is what's indicated here, right? This is what's implied behind all this, right? Because if you care about animals, you should eat them, right? Because many animals exist if you eat them. So supposedly, if you increase your consumption of animals, more animals would exist, and that benefits them greatly. It doesn't matter that we can't give them good lives. If we, right now, and if we would to increase production, then we can't give them, none of them, nice lives, right? But doesn't matter. So it's not justified in this argument, since these animals have no quality of life. Life is not enough. It must be life with certain quality. Yes. So you probably should, nationwide, should reduce your animal products consumption by 85%. I meant decrease. I don't know what I said. But I meant you should decrease your animal product consumption by 85% to give them a certain quality, right? So he knows that even when the highest of welfares, that's not enough. That's why he's stipulating by certain quality of life. But some farmed animals do have good lives overall. The sheep farming in New Zealand, by the way, you live in London, my friend, is an example. Perhaps a minority of meat produced in the world today involves such happy animals. But let's eat more animals, because more animals means benefit to the animals. But it is significant minority that justifies much eating of those happy animals, which are, well, I said it already, it doesn't matter. If demand shifted to these animals, then the fucking thing would collapse. Then those places that have happy animals would become chaos. Is this person for real? Is this person for real? I actually feel my blood pressure rising. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Right. If demand shifted to these animals, there would be fewer animals in existence than there actually are. He's making but that is okay, since the argument is not to a maximizing one, but an appeal to history. So historically, animals benefited. Okay. So the argument isn't let's eat more meat, right? Okay. Let's eat more animal products, I guess. Right. Yes, there is the day of the abattoir. Oh. Beneficial day. And the sad death of the animal, which is not usually as free from pain and suffering as it might be. The fuck is this person? It feels like a parody, doesn't it? And there is other pain and suffering in the lives of those animals, such as when mothers are separated from the young. Benefit. More benefit. However, the pleasure and happiness of animal also matters, and it may outweigh pain and suffering. Something, I thought he was talking about duty. Duty is a Kantian thing. Here I hear a bit of a utility situation, right? So a bit of utilitarianism. So it's a bit weird. Philosophy professor, let's not forget. The pleasure of happiness with animals also matters. And there's suffering, sometimes something usually overlooked by most of those who affect to care for animals. You hear that, vegans? You hear that, vegans? You disregard the fact that a fraction of animals actually don't have the shittiest of lives in the world. Yes, they're still dragged away from their mothers. Yes, they're still dehorned and castrated without painkillers. Yes, they're branded. Yes, their tails are cut off. Yes, their teeth are removed. Yes, there are fed diets for the flesh that are going to become and not for their benefit. Yes, for the last few months of their lives, they actually put in small places. They're penned to not waste as much energy, right? To become fatter, to not run around, to not have freedom. Yes, all of those things. But also, sometimes, they don't have a completely terrible life, and they get to stand on a patch of land and eat some fucking grass or whatever. Absolutely. The brain death. I feel it. I feel it in my fucking head. I feel it. The brain is shrinking. There's more space in there. Holy shit. Hey, Laura. What's up? Hey, Navia. Hello. Right. The emphasis among the defenders of so-called animal rights on animal pain and suffering. No, we're not talking about pain and suffering. You are. While ignoring animal pleasure and happiness is bizarre and disturbing. We're not ignoring it. We're just saying it's a rights violation to have them being bred in the first place. It's a fucking rights violation. And everything that happens afterwards is a one prolonged rights violation, even if they have just a little bit of happiness once in a while, when they sniff each other and maybe sniff a patch of grass. Human beings suffer and their deaths are often miserable. Well, Nick, you're bringing it back to human beings, aren't you? Before that, you excluded human beings from the conversation, but now you're bringing them back. So I can bring back the comparison to human beings. If I birth you, Nick, and I give you a good life, as good as I can, I don't know, like in my cellar or something, or maybe it's in my backyard, right? And you can't leave. And I feed you not the food you want, but the food that I think you should have. And then I kill you at 12. Benefit. Sounds like a benefit to me. All right. But few would deem their entire lives worthless because of that. Well, that's not the claim, is it? The claim is rights violations. Yes, humans suffer. Does that mean that we can breed and slaughter some humans? He opened the shed. He brought people back into comparison, so I can compare. So nobody can, complain here about the comparison. Likewise, why should the gloom and unpleasant end of many of the animals we eat cast a negative shadow on their entire lives? Well, the entire lives are from a few weeks in case of chickens to 2 years in case of cows and sheep, right? So their entire lives, they aren't even reaching teenage years. So that's one of the points, right? But in the end, right, this point is moot. Breeding them into existence for the sole purpose of making them into objects is a rights violation. You can't ignore the fact that nothing that is done to them, nothing, is for their benefit. Nothing. I suspect that the pleasure and happiness of animals is overlooked because they are not our species. Not of our species. Well, you made that stipulation, darling, not us. We are actually talking about speciesism, right? We compare animals to us in the places where it matters, that they can feel, they can experience their environments, they have personalities, they have wants, wishes, they fear, they feel joy, they feel all these complex things. Not as complex as ours, maybe, perhaps, I don't know. But they feel them. So us, animal rights people, right? Or, well, I put it in the parentheses because he did. Animal rights people. We're not talking about suffering and happiness and shit like that. We're talking about rights violations. You have it right there. It's a fucking professor. No fucking way. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. That's something so dumb. Well, actually, I do. I do believe it. I do believe it. This is a kind of speciesism that particularly affects devotees of animal rights, right? So he's pointing back at us. That's innovative. All lives have their ups and downs, and this is true for animals as well as human beings. So, Nick, can we breed, give good lives to, and slaughter human beings then? Is that all right then? We give them good lives. Both ups and downs are important. I'm really wish he moves on to a different point right now. Really wish. It is this ongoing history of mutual benefit that generates a moral duty, or back to duty. So incredibly confused. A philosophy professor who keeps confusing deontology and utilitarianism language. Why? Not only language, but like actual, he makes the arguments through it, right? First, he talks about reduction of suffering, and then he talks about moral duty, which is a deontological concept, right? Of human beings to eat animals. Were the practice beneficial only to one of the two parties, it is, that would perhaps not justify persisting with it. Well, but both benefit. No. You know what? Even if people, they got to live, right? They benefited from us breeding them into existence. We're not even talking about through what ways cows, pigs, sheep, chickens are bred, turkeys. We're not even talking about that, right? Let's assume that they could have the most amazing lives. Well, put humans in the stead, as you did, Nick. Is it justified to now breed humans into existence for the sole purpose of killing them? Would they benefit from that? Do you think? You know, breed a bunch of people and kill them at 12. Benefit. Sounds like a benefit to me. In fact, animals benefit a lot more than human beings do. Oh, that's a bold claim. For human beings would survive as a vegetarian. For human beings could survive as vegetarians and vegans, whereas very few domesticated animals could survive many human beings being vegetarians and vegans. See what he done there? It's not even clever. It's just like one of them. I don't know. It almost sounds like a fucking dead joke. Indeed, if many human beings became vegetarians and vegans, it would be the greatest disaster that has ever been for animals since the time that asteroid strike wiped out the dinosaurs and many other species. I'm not saying I'm for it. Not necessarily. But some vegans do talk about using that land for rewilding, sweetie. Nick. So, what's going on here? Did you not think about it, though? Did you not actually bother to find out what the vegan community is talking about? Did you not, Nick? Did you not even check it out? Oh, what do vegans believe? Did you not even, Google it for, a second? Vegetarians and vegans are the natural enemies of domesticated animals that are bred to be eaten. If they don't exist, they don't care, Nick. Only you care. All you're trying to do is justify your taste pleasure, slaughtering billions of animals a year. That's all you're doing. Of course, not all vegetarians and vegans are alike. Somehow I don't think what will ensue, what will come after this is going to be in any way a vegan position. Quite a few vegetarians and vegans are not motivated by animal rights or welfare, but by a feeling of taboo or pollution? Taboo or pollution? The fuck does that mean? A revulsion of the idea of eating animal flesh. Yeah, well, like 2 or 3 dozen people. Probably. I mean, we become kind of revolted by it after we watched a few slaughterhouse footages, right? For such vegetarians and vegans, roadkill is off the menu. Unlike the appeal to animal rights or the welfare of animals, this is a reason I respect. Oh. Respect just having your revulsions. We don't respect fucking consideration of our rights violations to a sentient being. Oh. I really am gonna cry tonight that Nick doesn't respect my position. But such vegetarians and vegans should admit that acting with these feelings is bad for animals. Well, if you made an actual good argument, we could have. Do the motives of carnivores and farmers matter? What does it mean by that? Okay. Typically, they are not high-mindedly concerned with the welfare of animals. Oh, the carnivore animals. Okay. They're not talking about carnivore dieters, I guess. But if there are beneficial effects on animals as a side effect of impure motives, well, it could never be, because we're talking about rights violation, not necessarily fucking suffering. I agree that not just suffering does not exclude one from enjoying their life, right? I don't think all suffering is bad, essentially. But we're not talking about that. Vegans are not talking about that. Or at least most vegans are not talking about that. We're talking about rights violations. It's a right violation to bring an animal just for the sole purpose of turning them into a fucking object. There's nothing beneficial that can come from that. It could be moments of some kind of a bliss because the animals are generally ignorant, right? But it's still a rights violation. it would be a rights violation even if they didn't suffer at all. If there was zero suffering, it would still be a rights violation. We might think that all that matters. Or we might follow Immanuel Kant. You don't put that name into your mouth, you fucking fucker. In distinguishing between treating humans or animals as a means, which may be acceptable, and treating them merely as a means, which is not. Hold on. In distinguishing between treating humans or animals as a means, which may be acceptable, and treating them merely as a means, which is not. I don't know if I can trust this person that's what Kant said at this point. I know he's like a philosophy professor, but so far this has been so brain dead that I don't know. Hey, what's up, Paz? How you doing, sweetie? So long as carnivores and farmers have the former motives, not the latter, there is no complaint against them. One second. I forgot to turn on a light. Small-scale farming in which animals have good lives does not harm the environment much. It harms it more. It harms it more. It has more crop deaths. My page, Instagram page, Harmsteader, made it clear. Small farms harm the environment more. Takes more land. It kills more crop deaths, meaning animals that are, how I call it, corpse deaths, right? It's the carnivores are killed, the insects are killed, the rats, even the cats and the dogs sometimes, and the coyotes and the raccoons. Holy shit, so many animals die on small farms. So many more than on CAFOs. Because on CAFOs, the entire land is already dead. Everything in there is fucking dead. Nothing living is coming anywhere near CAFOs, right? Whereas on small farms, they actually are in the middle of fucking nature. And nature doesn't give a shit that you want to kill those animals for your taste pleasure. It's gonna come in and gonna try to take those animals away from you. In the form of insects, in the form of carnivores, and in the form of other pest animals, right? So you're full of shit, but also it hurts the environment more. It is because history matters that we should not eat dogs that were originally bred to be pets for work. This is so fucking brain dead. I can't believe it. I can't believe how low tier this is. It's coming from a fucking professor of philosophy. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And the comments, if we have time to go into the comments, they don't believe it either. I don't think we're gonna have time, but we'll see. Right, the dog human institution license only the behavior that it that is in accordance with the historical function. Because animals care about history. They care about what they were bred for. They really like, please don't kill me. But you were bred for this. Don't worry about it. Yeah, okay. Go ahead. Right? That's how animals behave, right? Eating dogs would violate that tradition. So he's talking about humans. He's talking about the benefit of humans. He's not talking about animals at all. He doesn't give a shit. The reason that these domesticated animals exist makes a difference. It makes a difference. How a professor of philosophy doesn't feel the need to elaborate on things like that, it's beyond me. Carnivorous institutions do not exist in isolation. I don't know what he means by carnivorous in this case. Does he just means like meat eating? Just regular run-of-the-mill omnivorous meat eating? I don't even know. do not exist in isolation. Whatever may be the benefit or harm to the animals and humans beings that are its participants, there are also further effects of the practice that may be considered. First, consider some positive effects. There are a gustatory pleasures of human beings. Taste pleasure. Hello. There are some health benefits to human beings. Very little. I guess like only like fish flesh and maybe some fermented dairy, but that's about it. There is employment for many who work in the meat industry. They can fuck off. There are aesthetic benefits too of countryside with charming grazing animals in elegant, well-maintained fields. Well, those come at the price, the high price of actually producing oxygen to breathe, right? Because those well-maintained fields come at the expense of trees, right? However, the big negative for many people is climate, that the effect mostly of cattle burping and farting. Does not climate give us reason to be vegetarian and vegan? Well, I'm getting tired of this. Well, since the problem mostly comes from cows, one option would be to move to eating other kinds of animals in great numbers. Is he a fucking idiot? Does he not understand that cows are the problem because they're like the biggest and the most prolific animals by mass on the planet? And if you increase the amount of sheep, the problem is going to be the fucking same. Does he not understand that? Jesus fucking Christ. Moreover, the climate damage is mostly due to very intensive factory farming. Not true. Small farming is more environmentally damaging, which I do not defend because the animals do not have good lives. I don't know, even we said already. Indeed, the evidence is that small-scale farming in which animals have good lives does not harm the environment much. Yes, it does. They even benefited. Nope, regenerative farming was thoroughly debunked. I think even the small-scale farmers already know it. I did have a post about it on my Harmsteader Instagram. The argument from historical benefit does not apply to wild animals. Because there's a difference. What difference? We don't know. Which are in an entirely different category. Human beings did not create these animals with a purpose. So we do not owe them anything in virtue of that relationship. Oh, he's still thinking that he benefits the animals by slaughtering. Slaughter is beneficial. So we do not owe them at that relationship, although as sentient beings, so he understands that they're sentient, their lives deserve respect. Slaughter is respect. Can we hunt them for food if we're hungry, or kill them if they harm us? Probably yes. Maybe for the second, definitely not for the first. Just eat fucking chickpeas. Just do that. Probably yes, depending on the degree of the need and the degree of the harm. Can we hunt them purely for sport? Perhaps not. Why not? In your worldview, right? They have their conscious lives, right? And who are we to take it away from them without cause? Without cause. I really now want to ask Nick how he thinks that taste pleasure actually justifies taking away a sentient life. Right? That's why he's doing this. He's trying to justify this through this absolutely brain-rotting idea that breeding somebody forcefully, torturing them, right? Small farms also debud. Small farms also castrate. Small farms also really not quick on calling the vet when something happens to the animals. In fact, on small farms, more shit happens to the animals because they're closer to nature. So all the viruses and all the shit from wild animals, it transfers easier to the small farms. In fact, I think viruses kind of start on small farms, I think, because it's proximity to nature. Yeah. There's a study with what you're saying, VPM. Yeah, you sent it to me. I would love to read that. Right. So, slaughtering animals for taste pleasure is okay. Slaughtering animals without a cause. Oh. The lives of wild animals are an endless cycle of trauma, pain, and death. True. Alfred Lord Tennyson's phrase about nature read in tooth and claw hardly begins to do justice to the extent of the hunger, fear, and agony of the lives and deaths of animals in the wild. They kill each other, kill and eat each other relentlessly by the billion. Agree? And I don't know if by the billion is true. I mean, maybe like historically, right? Usually when we talk about by the billions, there should be like a time frame, right? Talking about that. That's interesting. Thanks. I'm gonna copy and paste that, Vegan Power Lab. 1 sec. Sorry, guys. This is important. Let me grab my notepad. There you go. Thanks. Okay. This awful truth about wild animals is concealed from children in the vast majority of children's books and films, in which fictional animals of different kinds are represented as chummy friends instead of ripping each other apart for food. This is one of the reasons that I think Leslie Cross is a bit delusional. Just a little bit. Because he talks about nature as the same thing to which we should return the animals. Leslie Cross is on my mind because I, again, aggravated the pressure deontology's utilitarianism people. So, that's okay. They aggravated me first. So, I'm shutting up as long as they shut up. But they don't shut up, do they? So, there. Sorry. Where they get their food is usually glossed over. Most of what adults tell children about animals is a spectacular lie. Well, you continue that tradition, though, my man, right? Are you going to talk about the debudding and... Oh, fuck, this is long. Oh, this is too long, guys. We're not going to make it in about 13 minutes. We have to finish and go to Chip's stream. Maybe I don't know. Let's go to in nurturing animals that we raise for food or other purposes. Human beings seem to do better than God. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! Maybe we can just go to the comments. Comments. They're here. What do you say? What do you say? Shall we go to the comments, guys? Or should I continue reading? Please let me know. Can I open a poll here? No, not really. I don't know how to do such things. Can I open a poll here? What the fuck? Am I still alive? Guys, am I still alive? Because it's doing a thing. Oh, no, that's fine. Can I open a poll here? No, neither. Comments, do me comments. Okay. Whatever Pig's Dream wants, Pig's Dream gets. I saw the first comment. Danny Waitson, my hero. Genuinely wondering whether this is some kind of a sarcastic troll article. Like, it's so bizarre that if it's actually genuine, I'm utterly baffled as to why Eon have decided to publish this. What's stranger still is that Eon is so good 99.5% of the time. How did this bit get past the editors? And there is not even any need to point out the article's various failings. We did a little bit. They're painful and obvious. So I'll just say I'm outraged unless it's an elaborate prank, in which case, kudos, I guess. Seriously, was this published? No, in January. It was not published. It was not published in April Fools or something like that. The author answers. Thank you for sharing your view about the quality of the arguments in my piece. I wonder whether it might have been useful for you to try to specify what exactly the failing of the arguments are. Oh, maybe I should send Nick my notes. Then we might all learn something. He answers a lot. I'm like, I'd like to believe this essay is parody, but unfortunately, I think Zangwill wants to be taken seriously. It is baffling. It is weird that this was written seriously. It is weird. Others have already pointed out the numerous problems with this piece, but I was surprised to see he mentioned my name and my work to support his argument. Shit. Oh, shit. Another academic is like, what the fuck are you doing? Putting your name and my name and my work in your fucking stupid article. Holy shit. So let me set the record straight. First, Angle's claim that I am enthusiastic advocate for the sophistication of the minds of domesticated animals. I'm doing so. We haven't read this part. Suggests that numerous peer-reviewed papers I've written on cognition in farmed animals are advocacy pieces that reflect my personal opinion about the minds of the domesticated animals. In doing so, he misinterprets and misuses the scientific work I and others have done on the issue of mind in other animals. No one, including myself, can advocate for a scientific conclusion. Yeah, for real. We can advocate for better treatment, rights, protection for other animals, but we cannot advocate for scientific findings. Well, there is a semantic thing, but it's still like, yeah, Nick is really stupid there. He gets it completely wrong. Zangwill claims that I do not suggest that these animals have anything like the self-conscious reasoning that is characteristic to human beings. I'm not sure why he thinks that a monolithic statement like this accurately reflects my findings in total. He's making an simplistic attribution to me in support of his argument. He is wrong to do this, as I have found many attributes of other animals that suggest self-reflection. And even if I or anyone else didn't, such an overly generalized statement has no value without context and certainly cannot be used to make valid arguments about how to treat other animals. Legend. I kind of want to read a little bit about this person. Absolute legend. I'm writing it down. There you go. Oh, shit. My blood pressure is a little high. Thank you so much for taking the trouble to write. I am a great admirer of both your scientific research and your work for animal welfare. Fuck you. On being an advocate is just meant campaigning and arguing for a view as well as a cause. Well, this person is supposedly a welfarist. Maybe when I read up about them, I find out that I don't like them anymore. They're not legend. I'm gonna go prep for my live stream. VPM continue. Don't stop for that. When you finish, come there. Otherwise, don't stop for that conversation. Well, I'm getting tired anyways. I'm not gonna lie. The thingy situation is putting a lot of strain on my life right now. I never thought I would say it, but I really want to clean my house, and I can't do that. I really want to clean my house. My house is gross And it's gonna stay gross for the next 2.5 months. But I can't properly clean it. It just like impairing one finger. It's incredibly, yeah. It's really, really hard to do anything. I had to buy a dishwasher. I can't wash dishes. I can't cook properly, almost at all. I eat very poorly right now, like mostly things that I can just throw in a pan, put water and spices over. It's like I'm actually cooking something a little bit more elaborate, and I actually hurt myself a little bit. So most of the stuff I have to do with my left hand that I'm not used to doing. So I cut myself, I burn myself on my left hand, and all together, by the end of the day, both of my arms are just incredibly tired because everything works incredibly differently. Yes, because of one finger. Even fucking typing has become, like, I've reduced typing. It has become incredibly hard. So yeah, because of the finger. Yeah, I'm getting tired. I'm not gonna read that. I bet it's brain dead, and because we haven't read the entire thing. In my opinion, it wasn't an argument with much evidence to support the author's contention. Thank you. I think if, as an author said, that we should eat meat, we wouldn't need an article to remind us. Years of dietary and medical research show that a plant-based diet is the ideal for health, and plants are the predominant food source in the majority of human societies for centuries worldwide, with that animals being a very small part of it. Well, I don't know, it's growing, kind of. Like per capita, I think. Some of the things are growing. The article sounds to me like a reaction to the massive movement toward veganism pushed by sympathy for victimized animals and its role in saving the earth from the devastation of animal agriculture. Jesus, I hope you didn't hear that. Slaughter of children going outside of my house. Wow, they scream a lot. I bet you didn't hear a goddamn thing. Meanwhile, I can't concentrate on saying anything. Oh God. I care about people, said Animal Lecter. Found the vegan. I'm surprised and little upset that Eon, which I support, would allow such a badly written article into its esteemed magazine. Reading it was hard to take seriously, for real. Hey, what's up, Bible? Dumb Bible, dumb podcast. Yeah, and I bet this was very insightful. It's shocking you published this feeble paper. The author admits his argument have little merit in the case of factory farming. Unfortunately, that most of our meat farms. It would almost have to, the BBC estimates humans eat 40 kilograms per person per year. It's very likely we can't produce this much without intensive factory farming. Fact. So, not exactly hair-splitting detail there that can be ignored while we can carry blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's absolutely contradictory. The argument in itself is contradictory. Let's give animals good lives and let's procreate more of them because it's more beneficial to the species, right? Contradictory statements when you look into it a little bit, which I think Nick didn't. What's up, nerds like us? Give those kids the finger. Yeah. I had to have to saying that I'm not being rude. I'm sorry. I'm not being rude. I'm just hurt. All right. That simple fact reconstitutes this essay from an argument about what we should do to an argument about what we should do if we just so happen to live in a world that's not at all like the one we currently inhabit. Yeah, true. And beautifully put. If we were to accept his argument, there would have to be some level of meat consumption equal to sustainable small-scale output, which would be good, while the rest of the would be bad. Indeed, that would seem to be the very heart of his argument. Does he spend the rest of the article on it? Nope. It's time to, okay, well, this is really long. Sorry, guys. It's time to start moving towards Chip's live stream. Let me just grab it. And yeah, I see most of you are there already. So that's good. Martin is there. Ooh, Chase is there. Interesting. There you go. It's starting. Yeah, sorry, you can't hear that.
Brand recognition, I guess. I don't know why. If we can stop it in a nice way. Oh, that was smooth.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Yes.
All right. So everybody move there. I'm going to stop this stream. Thank you very much for coming. See you next time.